What's good, guys? Charles from Team COG coming at you here with my 12th place Crusadia Guardragon deck profile from the Denver Regionals. So your boy here went down with his team. We went in vast numbers and I went down, and I decided to put an end to all the haters out there saying you're the worst Crusadia player, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Now, in order for you to say that to me, come talk to me when you got your invite with the deck. So I'm just very proud to say that, to show you guys that I'm not just a locals wonder. So anyway, guys, I'll shoot into my matchups real quick. My matchups round one was Metaphys, Guardragons. That was very interesting. If you guys don't know the guy, I can't remember his name. I should have the names in front of me, but sadly I don't. I'm very unprepared. So he topped the Utah Regionals, I think, last year with Metaphys, pure Metaphys. So he was a very intelligent player. I went 2-1 with him. I lost in time due to him having two, not one, but two set Storming Mirror Forces, and I was able to answer one of them. So that stings. Round two was a very nice guy. I can't remember his name either, but he was awesome. He was a very pleasure to play. He was playing Paleo, and he lost it. Like, I won the dice roll all day, guys. I don't think there was a single game I lost the dice roll. But I opened my mediocre board of pretty much 2 negates. That's what I want to tell you guys, is my deck really, this is like why this regional is really a solid win for me. Because my deck didn't show up at all, guys. Like, I had such mediocre bad hands. Like, this deck is supposed to end on, like, 5 negates. I was ending on, like, 2 to 3 max. So, and that was not because of, like, hand traps and stuff. That was me after playing through hand traps. That was because my hand was so mediocre that that's the only thing I could do was end on 5 or 2 to 3 negates. My deck decided not to show up until the last round when I was able to end on 5 negates against my Sky Striker player. But, continue on after Paleo, I played Buster Blader. And this is another, I should have lost that deck in theory, because my deck's supposed to put out a lot of dragons, but my deck was like, no, hold up, we're not going to show up in time. So it was essentially pure Crusadia beatdown, and that was just enough to beat that deck. So going on after that, I played Altergeist. I 2-1'd him. There was never, I don't think I 2-0'd anyone, guys. It was always 2-1. That's how my deck was not showing up properly. But I 2-1'd him. I 2-1'd the Altergeist player. He just happened to flip Skill Drain and never see a monster. Round 2, he flipped Rivalry on me, and I was like, you know what, didn't draw an out. So I was like, all right, let's just go on. Game 2, he just opened 3 cards, or set 3 back row, and I twin twisted away the other. He spoofing, and I think I had an Ash for the spoofing. So then I just did my typical Crusadia plays and just pretty much shut him out. Round 3, I played Orchist, PK. I ended up beating him 2-1. That Azalthot combo doesn't stand a chance against Equal Max here. I whacked him for 13,400 damage. We got deck check, so we had a time extension. But he was an awesome player, really good player. I won the dice roll there. Turn 1, deck, and opened 1 Crusade, and that no extenders and no nothing. So like, you can't play really. So he won round 2. I won, and then I'll tell you what came in clutch in game 3. Game 3 I won because he chose to go first. Game 2 was Lancia's. I opened so mediocre in game 2 because I was like, oh, I lost, I'll still go first. In game 1, I was like, wow, what the heck? So I opened Lancia's, and Lancia's pretty much saved me through the entire day. But so after the PK gift player, I played Salads. I ended up losing that. That was where it was like storming the beaches of Normandy, guys. Hand traps flying down. I was sitting there. I got DD Crow'd, Effective Alloy like 3 times. My homie next to me got like ashed, ogred. It was a rough day in that round. So essentially, he very good player, very polite player. Poor guy was sick, so he had to wear a mask. So, but he just had the hand traps. It was, the Salad deck can essentially, all it needs is 2 cards, and it plays 12 hand traps. And when you only have 3 Call by the Graves, and you just don't have an answer for it, that's all right. Let's see, that was round 6. Round 7 was Trickstars. He, very good player. He had the Scythe combo. He had all that stuff. He, however, game 1, he didn't see no Trickstars, but he had enough back row to scare me pretty good. So I ended up winning that one. Game 2, he ended up essentially flipping Rivalry. And, like, when you don't draw an out to Rivalry, this deck suddenly loses. So game 3, it was rough again. I ended up going first, not opening the best, ending on just an Equal Max, and then he set a bunch, and it was just Equal Max beat down. For my final match, it was Sky Strikers. Round 1, he opened Godly. Round 1, I won the dice roll. Like I said, I won almost all my dice rolls today, and I did not open any combos, so I did the bare minimum I could do, and then Widow Anchor plus Afterburner just ruined my day. Game 3, I went first, and this is the first time in the entire tournament I was able to play through an Ash and a Veiler, and essentially vomit on the field, 5 negates, and he didn't even decide to play through it. The last round, he didn't open that well. He wrote it. I activated Draw a Lockbird. He called by, and he did not have no access to engage. So then he set his 2 cards, Meishizuku, searched the engage, passed to me. I had 2 Kaijus, a Maximus, Arborea, Draco, and I drew into a Reclusia. So it was pretty good. I just Kaiju'd him and just blew him up and attacked him for like 96 for game, and that ended up getting me 12th place. So this is 5 minutes in the video, guys. I'm going to shoot into the deck profile just to quickly get you guys into it, to show you guys what has changed. Not really a lot has changed, but 3 of my favorite guy here. Maximus, he's my favorite. He allowed me to 1-punch all day, which was awesome. 3 Arborea, your tuner plus your protection. She's the waifu of the deck. She is the best at what she does. I love her. I would never play any more less than her. She's awesome. 3 Draco. Draco was your recursion. This good boy right here took so many Veilers, so many DD Crows to his targets. He deserves a spot. He deserves a holo now, Konami. Put him a holo. But then after that, these 3 are the best Crusadias. Right here, I would never recommend playing anything less. 3 Leonis, just a name essentially. The piercing never came up. 3 Reclusia. Now Reclusia did come up actually. Being able to summon this to the zone that Sunlight Wolf points to and bait their roar, bait their rage is really good. But this right here allowed me to summon to a zone that the summon source is pointing to and pop the fog blade that the Orcus player had. So he was really good. And then I guess for the last pseudo Crusadia card, 1 Crown. Crown was a good negation and on a good extender. However, he never really came up. But he was really good when he did. I don't miss 2 at all, to be honest with you. For the dragon side of the engine, 3 Collapse Servant and 1 White Dragon. This guy always floated to my hand along with the Crawler. They came in pairs, believe it or not. So it was pretty rough. 2 Destrudos and 1 Red Eyes. Destrudo is really good at making my rank 7s and also in making my Borolo Savage. So really good, and don't recommend playing this. I do recommend playing Destrudo for everyone out there who doesn't know or is on the edge of it yet. I do recommend it. 1 Gamma-Seal. So he's your form of negation along with Kyoto. However, your boy here was very seldom. You drew into Kyoto any way to do this, so he was just given to the opponent a lot. So, which essentially allowed me to smack for game with Ecomax. So, but moving on, 3 Ash Blossom. So this is different. So for my very first profile, I did play 3, and then I drifted away from 3 and just played 2 Impermanents. And the reason I chose to go back to this is because Phantasmal Spiral, the Thanos Dragon, he's real, man. Like, when you get to the part in your combo where you have Skull Dread, Pitsy, and Agripane, they get to draw 4 cards. That is unreal. 4 cards. And they can draw into Ashes, everything like that. Or they can drop it with Spatha when you summon the Elipi. They can drop it with Spatha, draw 3 cards, and draw into an Ash and stop you right there if they don't have one already. And I didn't want that. So Ash was in here to stop the Phantasmal Dragon, and I got to stop 1, and then throughout the day, this was just used to hit Reincarnation, Engage, and stuff like that. So this card really performed well, and I think it's found a place back in the main deck for me. As long as that Thanos Dragon exists, I think this card needs to be there. 2 Kyoto and 1 Terraforming. So Kyoto, of course, is in here for the counter, so you can search the Gamma-Seal and end on like unlimited negates. And the Terraforming is just in here because you want to use the Terraforming to deck thin so you don't draw into multiples off of Saryuja. 3 Call By. So in previous profiles, I've always said I played 3 of this, and it never showed up. So today it showed up quite a bit. It showed up at the regionals a lot. However, like when they have 3 to 6 hand traps in their hand, and you only have 1 Call By, there's not much you can really do. 6 is a little extra, but you know what I'm saying, guys. It seems like when you play in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, that if you don't have 12 hand traps, or if your deck cannot open 5 hand traps in 1 card starters, it's pretty much, what are you doing? But Call By was really good. You have to play in this deck, in my opinion. Finally, for the final bit, is 1 Guardragon, 1 Succession, and 1 Monster Reborn. So if you guys don't remember, I was playing 2, 2, 1. So I decided to cut these down because I really wanted to see extenders. I wanted to see certain cards instead. I wanted to hopefully see Ash Blossoms, whereas opening these guys in multiples aren't the greatest. And that's why I don't believe you need to play 2 Succession or play 2 of these, because in singles, they're great, and doubles, they're awful because they're hard once per turns. So I just wanted to risk when I draw Saryuja that if I open Reborn, I'd draw into one of these, or, you know, vice versa. These 2 are also searchable off a Crawler whenever you need them. Guardragon plays multiple purpose. I had my Spatha and Permanence, so being able to move the Elipi over and just continue off your combos is really needed. So it's multi-purpose. So like, yes, this card only interacts with Draco, but 9 out of 10 times in your combo, you're going to have access to Draco. So it works very well. But that's it for the revival cards. I recommend, Monster Reborn was sided out a lot because like these two are searchable. But Monster Reborn came out quite a bit, sided it out. So, but I like this ratio. This is a solid ratio. I think you should try this ratio. Personally, I think like, you know, like if you're like me, you think like you need to have as many extenders as possible, but these performed just enough for the ratio I played them. Moving on, we played, for the last card, 1 Foolish Burial. This card was great, dumping Destrudo, dumping Arborea, dumping with something you want to add back with Draco. It's a really good extender and also another easy side out. We finally played 2 Impermanents and 1 Crawler. So like, again, this searches your World Legacy cards. This is a good hand trap. They're also good cards that you can set and activate, and they allow you to fuel your own Kaiju counters so you're not reliant on your opponent to do stuff, essentially. This allows you to make your Ecomax and Omni Negate. These shuts off columns, shuts off floodgates. So not much to be said about this. But so finally, we're going to move on off into our extra deck. And I apologize, my extra deck is not sorted. This is awful. So let me quickly sort it real quick. But other than that, guys, the region was a blast. I had an awesome time. I do recommend going to regionals, first off. I'm just very proud to finally bring you guys like a regional top of this deck. Like this deck has been my passion for a while. So it's really good to finally win with it. But jumping off into the profile, we play 2 Magius. 2 came up quite a bit. I wish I had space for 3 because you could definitely use 3. 1 Regulex to search out the Crawler to go through the Equalmax plays. 1 Spatha for the Guardragon plays. And actually, believe it or not, there was a point in my play string today, or at the regionals, where I had to move something not on my side, but on their side so I could put it in front of me so I could one-punch over it. And then for the MVP of the day, Ecomax. Ecomax just did so much work. Also, they were a day late, but I got the cool Shatter Foil sleeves for these guys, but I wasn't able to successfully wear them at the tournament because they got here the day after I left. So, repping the sky blue sleeves from Imperium Duelist because I like this blue sky theme that this deck has. So, but that's it for the Crusadia package. I enjoyed this ratio. I really can't wait for Aston to come out so we can play more Crusadia cards. Moving on for the rest of the deck, we played one of the links, or one of the nightmares, and then we're just going to move on to the nightmare. Like, I don't think I made this guy once, to be honest with you. So, like, you could probably take this out for something. So it's like, you know, hindsight, like, you don't need to play this. You can play another Synchro if you want to, another summonable thing off of Pitsy, or Agripane, excuse me. You don't need this. Moving on to the Dragon side of the extra deck, I guess. So we opted to play your typical 1 Elipi, 1 Pitsy, 1 Agripane. These guys are essential for your combos, nothing more to say. And then finally 1 Triple Burst Dragon. So in the sense, if you can't make a second Saryuja, you can just link these 2 away into this. And this guy was really good. This guy actually proved to be very good. So if you guys don't know what this guy does, is during the battle phase, during the damage step, when a spell trap or monster effect is activated, you can negate it. So this stops Ray, this stops the Colossus or the Titan from protecting itself. It stops, like, Honest. It stops the Trickstar hand trap. That's an Honest. It is really good, guys. It stops a Final Battle. It's pretty good. I do recommend playing it. Moving on finally to Saryujas. So I think only one time I went to my second Saryuja. Only just made it to the first one because my deck was like, nope. But I actually do kind of think that this card's going to go to 1, and I don't really mind if it does because then you can just play, like, other cards. So, moving on, 1 Quantum Dragon, 1 Crystal Wing, and 1 Savage. Savage is good because it's an Omni Negate, and a huge Omni Negate at that. Crystal Wing because it can negate the Danger Monsters and the Thunder Dragons. And this guy because it says you can't target my field with card effects, and also you have to battle this guy, and I just compulse. He also outs Thunder Dragons as well, and that was why I really wanted to play him over Don Dragster. So, like, a lot of times my ending board, guys, was Equalmax with this guy and a Crawler, and this guy is better than FA Don Dragster in my opinion because it gives your Equalmax 45 or 2,500 extra attack, making him a 4,500 beater, whereas just the Don Dragster only gives him 0 because it's original attack. But that's it for the extra deck, guys. Very proud of it. But now this is where my side deck showed up for the event more than my main deck did. That's how crazy it was. But we'll just quickly get into it. 3 red reboot. I sided this in a lot, believe it or not, when I was going when I knew I was going first, and I knew my opponent would side in evenlies. However, I never got evenly, and this never came up. I red rebooted what is it? I red rebooted the Buster Dragon player. Moving on, 2 slumbers, and the other kaiju package. So these guys came in, these 5 came in quite a bit because, you know, you want to kaiju away the Thunder Dragons, you want to interrupt his slumber, a lot of things. And a lot of times interrupt his slumber never resolved, but that's okay. It did what it was ashed, but that's all right because I already had kaijus in hand, so it was okay. Moving on, we played 2 Twisters. This came in, this card actually proved in really clutch against the Sky Striker and the Alter Guys matchup. Now for the real MVP of the day, was 3 Lancias, guys. So this guy went in and it allowed me to walk over the Orcus matchup. It allowed me to walk into the Trickstar matchup, and it's just phenomenal. I was able to drop this going first, and the guy couldn't play, and I was able to draw into it during my second turn and just ensure that he did not have a third turn, so it was awesome. And then Draw Unlock Bar was really good. However, the 2 times, like I used it once and it resolved, and I used it again and got Draw Unlocked. But that is it for the deck profile, guys. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'm just so happy to finally get my invite with this deck. So now I have the credentials to essentially be a good Crusadia player, I guess. So thank you guys for watching. Also, if you guys have not, I have revealed the mat that I have my friend drawing. So if we can get 500 likes on that mat on YouTube, he's going to try and get it done for April for me because he's a very fantastic inventor. He's a very fantastic drawer. He had a lot of stuff come up. However, I made him a proposal. I said, wait, if I can get 500 likes on this mat, on the artwork you have already done for it, will you bust through and finish it for me? And he said, yep, you know what? That sounds fair. So come on, guys, remember, go to the community section, find us, and put a like on that for the first, I think it's going to be the first fan art custom Crusadia mat out there. So this is Charles from Team CLG signing out.